Everybody, this is day 25 of Imagine a Miracle Every Day, and this is going to be for November the 18th, 2023. We are going to be imagining a miracle from John, the book of John, chapter 4, verses 1 through 30. But first I would like to just show you some beautiful scenery from where I am today. I am in the neighborhood, essentially a park close to where I grew up. And this is a square where I literally learned how to ride my bike. The first bike I got, I don't know how old I was, maybe I was 7. I can't hardly remember. But anyway, this is where I learned how to ride my bike on riding around here, and I didn't know how to put on the brakes, so therefore I wore out my shoes by sliding my heel on the ground. So let's get to the chapter. Now what you're going to be imagining is this. It starts off, Jesus departs into Galilee. When therefore the Lord knew how the Pharisees had heard that Jesus made and baptized more disciples than John, though Jesus himself baptized not, but his disciples. Now let me turn this page with my other hand. It's so pretty here, isn't it? All right. He left Judea and departed into Galilee. And he must needs go into Samaria. Then cometh he to a city of Samaria, which is called Sychar. Now Jacob's well was there. Jesus, therefore, being wearied with his journey, sat thus on the well. So you want to imagine that Jesus is tired, and what he does is he has traveled. Now he's in Samaria, and he's at the well where that Jacob used to own. And Jacob then cometh the woman of Samaria to draw water. Jesus saith unto her, Give me a drink, for his disciples were gone away unto the city to buy meat. Then saith the woman of Samaria unto him, How is it that thou, being a Jew, askest drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans. Jesus answered and said unto her, If thou knewest the gift of God, and who it is that saith to thee, Give me to drink, thou wouldst have asked of him, that he would have given thee living water. So here's what, this is not like one of the traditional healing miracles that we've been doing. But it talks about what it is that makes the miracles. This is similar to the one we did yesterday, in so much that it's not a healing miracle. But in your mind, when you imagine the scene here and what is going on, then you get an opportunity to be able to create and feel the energy that it takes to make the miracle happen. Because the miracle happens from the Christ in you, in Jesus, in relationship to the source of all life, which is the Father. So let's continue with the story. So you would imagine that they're talking at the well. So you can see them, picture them in your mind, sitting there talking. Jesus is kind of tired, and she's wondering, why are you talking to me? Because you guys are not supposed to be talking to me. And he said, and so the woman saith unto him, Sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. From whence then hast thou that living water? So she doesn't understand what the living water is quite yet, because she's thinking it's the water that's going to be coming out of some kind of well. But he knows differently, and she and tells her, she continues by saying, "Art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well and drank thereof himself and his children and his cattle?" Jesus answered and said unto her, "Whatsoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again." So you got to imagine that he's saying, if you drink regular water out of this well, you're going to thirst again. And his point is that he has living water that is eternally flowing. And the point for you when you're imagining this is to understand for yourself that this is the living water that pours out from Jesus to you, and you feel it in your spirit. All right. The indwelling spirit is the next verse 14. "But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst, but the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life." So this is impressive to her, because what she says is, "Then the woman saith unto him, Sir, give me this water." So you can imagine that she's sitting there and she's hearing this, and she's like, "Oh, well, give that to me, that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw," so that she doesn't have to come back here again, right? So, she's understanding something powerful about what he's saying. "And Jesus saith unto her, Go call thy husband and come hither. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Jesus said unto her, Thou hast well said, I have no husband, for thou hast had 5 husbands, and he whom thou now hast is not thy husband. In that saith thou truly." So here's another amazing thing for you to recognize about spirit. And Jesus, being tuned into spirit, has knowledge, omniscience. We were talking about this last night in my class. So he has the knowledge that she has had all these husbands, and now the person that she is being with is not her husband. The woman saith unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet, because she recognizes that there's no way for him to know this, because she didn't tell him this. So the next thing, so you're going to sit there and you're going to imagine all these, that they are talking back and forth. And she continues by saying, Our fathers worshipped in this mountain, and you say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. Jesus saith unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. Ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. So you have to imagine them talking this. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for the Father seeketh such to worship him. So you can process this information. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. The woman said unto him, I know that Messiah cometh, which is called Christ. Which he is come, he would tell us all. When he is come, he would tell us all things. Jesus saith unto her, I that speak unto thee am he. And upon this came his disciples and marveled that he talked with the woman. Yet no man said, What seekest thou? Or why talkest thou with her? The woman then left her water pot and went her way into the city, and saith to the men, Come see a man which told me all things that I ever did. Is this not the Christ? Then they went out of the city and came unto him. And I'm going to stop there at verse 30. So let me see what time I've got there. I'm going to go ahead and close. Have a miraculous day. And may you have many miracles in your life.